Isang paalaala, ang susunod na kabanata ay naglalaman ng mga salita at pahayag na maaaring magdulot ng takot, pangamba at pagkabahala sa mga nakikinig, lalo na sa mas nakababatang gulang. Huwag magpatuloy kung kinakailangan. Welcome to episode 281. Ako po si Earl, ang inyong camp master. At ito ang Santelmo Society segment ng Philippine Campfire Stories. Ang Santelmo Society ay ang listener story segment ng ating show, kung saan binabasa ko ang mga kwento mula mismo sa ating mga tagapakinig. Ang unang kwento ay galing kay Dar, at ito ay nangyari sa isang staycation nila sa Baguio City. Pakinggan natin ang kwento niya. Hi Earl, you can call me Dar. I've been listening to your podcast for quite some time now, and I really enjoy how you tell stories with so much detail. It feels like I'm really there. That's why I thought, why not share my personal story? Something that happened to me and my partner, MC, just last May of 2024 in Baguio City. It was supposed to be a romantic and chill trip for our anniversary. But some strange things happened that made it unforgettable, both in a good and terrifying way. Despite everything, we still managed to enjoy the trip and celebrate. We stayed for 4 days and 3 nights. We booked this condo unit via Airbnb, which had amazing reviews. The pictures online looked cozy, wood accents, warm lighting, and a nice view of Baguio Mountains. Perfect for a relaxing stay, right? When we arrived, everything seemed normal. The unit looked just like it did in the photos, and we even complimented how clean and cozy it was. But as the night went on, I started to notice some strange vibes. The first thing that caught my attention was the odd placement of a mirror. It was directly across from the bed, which I found unsettling because, as you know, maraming pamahiin tungkol sa salamin, especially when it's facing you while you're asleep. MC joked about it and saying, baka may sumilip dyan mamaya. But I told him not to say things like that. That night, as we were getting ready for bed, I thought I heard a faint knocking sounds coming from the unit above us. Initially, I dismissed it as footsteps or furniture being moved around. Pero habang tumatagal, parang naging rhythmic yung tunog. Parang kumakatok talaga. I asked MC, naririnig mo ba yun? He said, oo, pero baka normal lang. May nakatira siguro sa taas. We tried to ignore it and went to bed. But around 2 a.m., I woke up to a strange feeling. Parang ang bigat ng atmosphere sa kwarto. I turned to look at MC and he was awake too. Sabi niya, hindi ako makatulog. Parang may tumitingin sa atin. Napatingin ako sa salamin. And that's when I noticed something odd. The reflection in the mirror didn't seem right. Parang mas madilim yung itsura ng kwarto sa salamin compared sa totoong kwarto. I felt goosebumps all over, but I forced myself to look away and told MC, tulog na tayo. Baka napapagod lang tayo. The next morning, we both woke up feeling drained, as if we didn't get any rest at all. We didn't talk much about the weird vibes from the night before, trying not to scare ourselves furthermore. The second night, we decided to drive around the city to enjoy the cold breeze. It was around 9 p.m. when we headed out. At first, everything felt normal. We had the car windows rolled down to enjoy the crisp air, but when it started drizzling, we closed them. We rolled them up and we continued driving. After a few minutes, I smelled something strange. It was a very distinct, foul odor. Parang amoy na bubulok na laman. Both MC and I worked in the medical field. I'm a nurse and MC is a medical technologist. So we know what rotting flesh smells like. Kaya nung naamoy ko yun, it immediately sent chills down my spine. I asked MC, "May naamoy ka ba?" He nodded. Oo. Parang mabaho. Amoy na bubulok. What made it worse was the car windows were closed, and the air was set to recirculate. There was no way for the smell to come from the outside, yet we both smelled it. When I checked Waze, I realized we were passing Luwakan Road, known for being one of the most haunted roads in Baguio. MC focused on driving while I silently prayed. After a few minutes, the smell disappeared, but the eerie feeling stayed with us. We didn't talk much on the way back to the condo. On the third day, we woke up and decided to go for a change of scenery. We had planned to visit the Diplomat Hotel, a place known for its eerie history and abandoned ruins. We had heard so many ghost stories about the place, but we thought, why not check it out? We're already in Baguio after all. We arrived at the Diplomat Hotel around midday. It was quiet and still, just like the stories you've shared in your podcast. The building was dilapidated, and the air felt heavy. We explored the surroundings, and I couldn't shake off the feeling that we were being watched. I was taking the pictures of the old ruins from the outside as no one was allowed to get in. But some of the photos came out blurry, no matter how still I held my phone. MC noticed this too, and mentioned that he felt like there was someone standing right behind him, though no one was there. I caught him looking behind his back a few times, and at one point, he stopped dead in his tracks and said, "Parang may humaplos yata sa balikat ko." We quickly decided to leave, but as we walked back to the car, we both noticed a figure standing near the entrance. Just a silhouette staring at us. But when we looked again, it was gone. We didn't speak much as we drove back to the condo. The atmosphere was too heavy, too suffocating. By the third night, we were already on the edge because of the Luwakan Road incident and the creepy visit to the Diplomat Hotel. We decided to stay in the condo to avoid any more adventures. After dinner, we were lounging on the couch when we suddenly heard something fall in the bedroom. Sounded like a heavy object hitting the floor. MC went to check, but when he came back, he said, "Walang nahulog." I tried to brush it off, but around midnight, things got worse. While lying in bed, I felt the blanket being pulled from my feet. I froze, thinking maybe MC moved, but when I turned to him, he was sound asleep. I pulled the blanket back, but a few minutes later, it happened again. This time, I sat up and woke MC. He groggily said, "Ano ba?" I told him what happened and he just shrugged it off. But then, we both heard a faint whisper. Parang boses ng babae. It was so soft, almost like it was coming from inside the room. We looked at each other, too scared to speak. We decided to leave the lights on for the rest of the night. Needless to say, we barely got any sleep. Earl, kahit nakakatakot yung mga nangyari, we're still glad we went to Baguio. We'll definitely go back, but next time we'll be more cautious. These experiences are scary but also memorable, and we also love sharing stories like this with people who enjoy them too. It's strange how sometimes you don't believe in things like this until it happens to you, right? Pero one thing's for sure, we won't be staying in that Airbnb again. And next time we go to Baguio, we'll be checking our surroundings a little bit more carefully. I really appreciate you creating this space to share our experiences. It's a great feeling to be able to tell our story to someone who gets it. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you and other listeners too. Thanks again, Earl. Hello, Dar and MC. Thank you for sharing your strange stories from your vacation in Baguio City. As you know, when I'm in the Philippines, I try to go to Baguio City as much as I can because we have a condo near Legarda Road. Iba talaga yung imagery ng City of Pines kasi kahit na it's supposed to be relaxing and romantic trip, naging mas interesting pa when those strange happenings occurred. Pero di ba nga, mas parang naging unique ang stay ninyong dalawa. Thanks again for always listening and I hope to hear more stories from you, Dar. Magbabalik pa tayo for other stories from the campers. That and more coming up next. We're back in Santelmo Society ng Philippine Campfire Stories. And the next story is from Gia, and this is about a roaming security guard that encountered something eerie from one of his ships. Ready ka na ba? Here's Gia's story. Hello, Campmaster. I've been listening to your podcast for almost 2 years now. I always listen to your podcast whenever I'm working from home or on-site past 3 p.m. Pampagising. Ako si Gia. I just want to share the story that our high school teacher shared with us during our vacant time way back from 2008 sa isa sa mga Catholic school sa Santiago City, Isabela. Si Kuya Guard at that night ay nagra-rounds. Naglalakad siya paikot sa second floor ng isa sa mga building habang nagpa-flashlight siya sa mga rooms. Hanggang sa natapat ang flashlight niya sa hallway kung saan nakakita siya ng babae na naglalakad palayo. Yung suot ng babae sa pagkakakwento ng teacher namin ay naka-t-shirt and naka-jeans. Sinabihan daw ni Kuya Guard yung babae na, "Ma'am, ano pong ginagawa niyo dito? Gabi na po. Saan po kayo pupunta? Sasamahan na kita palabas." Wala daw sagot yung babae. Dumiretso lang yung babae palayo, paikot ng building, hanggang sa nakarating sila sa old chapel. Naka-flashlight pa rin si Kuya Guard nung nasa chapel na sila. Nakita daw niya yung babae na nagdadasal, nakaluhod. Sa pagkakarinig ni Kuya Guard, parang ipinagdadasal niya ang pamilya niya. Hinintay ni Kuya Guard na matapos magdasal yung babae. Inulit-ulit ni Kuya Guard na, "Ma'am, gabi na po. Sasamahan na kita palabas." Wala daw sagot ang babae. Kundi tumayo lang daw ito at naglakad palayo, papuntang altar. Sinundan ni Kuya Guard ang babae papunta sa altar. At inulit-uli ni Kuya Guard ang sinabi niya na, "Ma'am, ano pong ginagawa niyo dito? Gabi na. Sasamahan na kita palabas." Walang sinabi ang babae kundi naglakad lang siya sa pinakamadilim na parte ng altar. Nung flinashlightan na ni Kuya Guard yung pinuntahan ng babae, nawala daw ito. Nagtataka si Kuya Guard kung saan daw nagpunta ang babae. Gayong wala nang may ibang daanan palabas kundi ang pinto sa harap ng entrance. Pagkaharap ni Kuya Guard, namutla siya at hindi na siya nakagalaw sa kanyang pwesto dahil lang nakita ni Kuya Guard yung babae sa altar malapit sa mukha niya at wala itong muka. Kumaripas ng takbo si Kuya Guard at nag-resign sa kanyang trabaho bilang guard ng school. Hanggang ngayon, hindi ko pa rin nakakalimutan ng kwentong ito dahil sobra itong nakakatakot para sa akin. May dalawang kwento pa ako sa susunod. Same school po. Kwento ng teacher namin sa isa sa mga subjects namin na nagpipicture, habang may school activity ang mga estudyante, may nakita daw siyang hindi dapat na nasa picture. At ang na-experience ng girlfriend ko na doppelganger sa dati nilang apartment sa Makati. Maraming salamat at sa susunod pong muli, Gia. Hi Gia, grabe naman yung kwento na to. Ano kaya ang background ng ghost na yon? More importantly, ghost kaya yon? Thank you for the good scare, Gia. At sana may mga kasunod pa. Ang susunod na kwento ay galing naman kay Louisse from Laguna. Pakinggan natin ang kwento niya. Good day, Campmaster. I'm Louise from Laguna. I've been a listener since late last year, and before sending this, I binge listened to your episodes. They were right when they said that you have a calming voice, telling scary stories yet still managing to soothe your listeners. Kudos to you and to the whole camp family. I hope you're in the right place as you read my story. I'd like to share a story from my childhood. Something that had lingered in the corners of my memory. When I was in grade 4, I spent my summer in Nueva Ecija with my titas and my cousins. I should mention that as a child, I had the unsettling ability to see ghosts and supernatural entities. My Lola believed my third eye was open, though I always dismissed the sightings as mere coincidences. But one particular experience haunts me to this day. When I arrived at my tita's house, I had no idea that one of my cousins had been cursed by a duwende, or what they call na namatanda. His face was swollen, puffed up in an eerie way that felt unnatural. One afternoon, we were playing Nanay Tatay. Laughter and childish chatter filling the air, but I couldn't take my eyes off his face. Then without thinking, I blurted out, "Kamukha mo yung nasa likod mo." The moment the words left my mouth, silence dropped like a heavy stone. My cousin froze. My tita's face drained of color, her eyes wide with shock. She whispered, "Paano mo nalaman yan?" And my cousin started crying out of fear. I didn't understand what she meant until later. Apparently, weeks before my visit, they had taken my cousin to an albularyo for healing. The healer claimed the curse came from an old duwende, a hunched, wrinkled creature no taller than a child's knee. My cousin had unknowingly angered her while flying a kite. The wind had carried it too far and it came crashing down, right onto the old lady's face. From that moment, she cursed him. I had no way of knowing this, yet when I looked back during that game, I saw her. She was standing right behind my cousin, her bent form swaying like a shadow, caught in the breeze, and her eyes glowing with a sinister light that sent a chill straight down to my spine. Hello, Louise. Thank you for the Duwende story. You know what I think of these kinds of curses from elementals? They are a tad bit unfair, especially since you don't know what you're dealing with. Like your cousin here who was merely flying a kite, right? Nonetheless, like everybody says, respect begets respect. So, alam nyo na yun. Thank you, Louise, sa pagkwento mo sa amin ng kwento mo. Magbabalik pa tayo for one last story here in Philippine Camper Stories. We're back in Santelmo Society ng Philippine Camper Stories. Last story for the night is from Bash, and it's a story from her retreat days in Baguio City. Pakinggan natin ang kwento ni Bash. Hello, Camp Master. I'm Bash. I've been a listener of your podcast since last year lang. I've been enjoying listening to you and all the stories shared by other campers regarding their paranormal experiences. If I may have an opportunity to share my experiences, sana mabasa nyo din po, if in case. So the story was way back in my college days in the year of 2016, February. It was our retreat days and we got to stay in a retreat house near the Laperal House, known today as Joseph, as a fine dining restaurant. And La Casa Bianca, where you can buy the chunky ube jam. So as the story continues, we got to stay at the retreat house for 3 days and 2 nights. We arrived there at around the afternoon, since medyo traffic nung time na papunta kami. Medyo pagod pero not too tired to explore the vicinity kasi yung retreat house is so serene. May sariling grotto siya and ang ganda ng view niya from their viewing deck. 3-story yung mismong building na wooden pa since siguro dati pa naitayo, and may sarili siyang mini chapel sa 3rd floor. We were introduced to the nuns who resides and stay at the retreat house since parang convent style din siya. Tapos, after ng introduction and orientation, pumasok na kaming lahat sa loob para makita yung mga rooms and kung sino-sino yung mga designated na magkakasama sa kwarto. Since 3 classes kami na magkakasama, they divided us. All boys sa 3rd floor, all girls sa 2nd floor. I got to share the room with my 2 best friends, and the room next to us ay yung mga friends din namin. The room consists of 2 beds, 1 double bed na share yung 2 best friends ko, and 1 single bed for me. May cabinet din and mirror sa room na yun, and isang maliit na window. Since magkakatabi lang naman kami ng rooms ng mga kaibigan ko, so hindi mawawala yung pagiging maloko namin. By the way, my friends' name were Vanessa and Crystal, yung 2 best friends ko. And sa kabilang room naman sina Ash, Mara, and Clareshka. Fast forward, nagka-stomach ache si Vanessa since nanibago yung tiyan niya sa weather and sa tubig na din siguro, so in-advise siya ng school nurse namin na kasama namin nun na magstay na lang muna sa room at magpahinga. Before heading out at iwan si Vanessa sa room, kumatok-katok sa dingding yung kabilang room where our friends stay. Since palagi naman nilang ginagawa yun, so kumatok-katok din ako. Tapos, kumatok ulit ng 3 times. And ako din pabalik. Sabay sabi ko pa, Jo, tara na, baba na tayo. Pero walang sumagot sa akin, which is very unusual kasi maririnig mo naman yung kabilang room pag sumagot since hindi naman ganun kakapal yung wooden wall in between rooms. Hindi ko na lang pinansin, Camp Master, and proceeded on telling on Vanessa to take a rest and sleep at inumin yung meds niya kung di niya talagang kaya pumunta ng CR mag-isa. She said yes, and I told her na mag-text or call na lang if she needed anything para mapuntahan namin siya agad. As Crystal and I got down to the hall kung saan kami nagpo-forum, nadatnan ko na dun sina Ash, Mara, and Clareshka. I told them na, Jo, hindi niyo pa kami hinintay bumaba, kinakatok-katok niyo nga kami kanina. Sabi ko pa. Nagulat ako kasi sabi ni Ash, Ha? Kanina pa kami dito, Bash. Agad kaming bumaba kasabay ng iba sa room. Hinahanap nga namin kayo Kasi kayo na lang yung hindi bumababa. Hindi naman kami rin pinapaalis ni Sir Ronel since mag-start na rin yung forum. I froze nung pagkasabi niya yun, and I told her na, Di Jo, kasi kumakatok ka pa nga sa kabila kaya kumatok din ako. Sumisigaw pa nga ako, sabi ko, tara baba na tayo, pero di naman kayo sumagot. We were all shocked and went silent. And then when I realized na hindi sila yung naka-encounter namin sa kabilang room nung time na yon, I immediately went back upstairs para puntahan si Vanessa na mag-isa sa room namin. She was okay, and I asked if wala ba siyang ibang naramdaman o anong mga nangyari sa kanya, and she said wala naman since natutulog lang daw siya until I arrived to check on her. She asked me why I went back and I said, wala lang, gusto ko lang i-check kung okay ka. and didn't say anything anymore. Baka natripan lang kami ng kung sino man yung nakastay dun sa retreat house since siguro nabulabog sa kakakatok naming magkakaibigan. Yun lamang po, Cam Master, and maybe sa susunod na lang po yung ibang stories ko. Sana mapili at mabasa po ito, though hindi naman siya talaga nakakatakot. Thank you and God bless. Bash. Hello, Bash. Another Baguio story for us. Salamat. Saan kaya itong retreat house na ito? Favorite ko din po ang La Casa Bianca na ube, chunky ube jam. Kaso lang parang nagsara na sila dun sa street na yun. No? So, maybe another time. Mabuti naman at walang nangyari or naranasang masama ang friend mong si Vanessa. For me, it's really not a scary story because it could be someone else who was actually just playing tricks on you. And if ever man may mga playful spirits man doon, ano naman, parang dyan sa bahay nyo, wala kang katabi. Joke lang. Thank you so much, Bash. At nagbabalik na ang ating favorite segment, ang Camper Shoutout. Ayan, matagal-tagal din tayong hindi nakapagbasa, kaya medyo naiipon ang ating mga comments. Try nating magbasa ngayon para naman makapag-hello sa mga ibang tao. Mula sa episode 276, City Ghost, Mountain Guardian. Ayan. Sabi ni Bri, "Huy, Sir Rally, alam ko yung falls na yan. Pumunta kami dyan. Dami ko ding nakita dyan na entities. Maganda yung place, pero medyo eerie." Ayan. Thank you, Bri. Kwento ka naman next time, no? Send ka ng email sa amin ang kwento mo. Sa episode 277 naman, sa Haunted Spaces and Haunted Places, sabi ni Ella 19 Ian, first time to leave a comment. I've been a fan for a while at mas gusto ko pa rin talaga pag ikaw nagbabasa ng stories with sound effects. Iba pa rin. Don't get me wrong, I have nothing against those na gusto mag-share ng kwento nila, pero pag ikaw nagkwento, CM, and ikaw ang binabalik-balikan namin dito. Uy, wow. Sarap naman ang binabalik-balikan. Sana all. Maraming salamat, Ella. Rich Shang, oh my god, sabi niya, I want to share my story, CM. Yan. Share mo lang yan. Email ka lang sa campfirestoriesph@gmail.com. Car says, finally done listening to all episodes and will patiently wait for the next one. Take your time, CM, though it's killing me. Balikan ko muna yung ibang stories, lalo na yung kay Anton and yung kay Manila. Wow, talaga namang malakas pa rin ang hatak ng Anton Manila tandem. Sana makabalik sila, no? Next time. Tingnan natin. Love Rain. More of these, CM, please. May attachment issues ako. And I miss your voice. Nakikinig lang ako dito before during my hospital duties. Now I'm listening again, but during my review na. Still, my safe space pa rin and super favorite podcast. Naghahanap ako ng panibagong podcast since natapos ko na lahat, but dito pa rin ang bagsak ko after all. Alam na alam mo. Ano? Alam na alam mo paano ako kunin, Camp Master. Panindigan mo ako. Maraming salamat. Love Rain, and thank you for always staying in the podcast. And sana yan, nagagawa niya yung kung ano man yung kaya mong kunin. I was just talking to my friend over dinner earlier, and then I told her na kung ano man yung mga bagay na makukuha mo sa isang experience katulad ng pakikinig ng podcast, kunin mo kasi you know, anything after that is not guaranteed. So just take whatever you can from any experience, and whether that getting your relaxation from a horror podcast, so be it. Kunin mo yan. Andito lang naman lagi ang podcast, and that piece of advice goes to, you know, whatever situations you're in, whether it's questionable or whether it's not conventional. Just take whatever you can, because you know your future is not guaranteed. It's not entitled to you. You just have to do whatever it is that's best for you at the moment. Yun. Wow, medyo serious yun. Circe. Si Circe, sabi niya, Camp Master, sayang yung pandesal. Anyways, ang pasabog naman nito si M, pugot agad. Kinikilabutan ako habang nakikinig at nawala ang boredom ko sa traffic. Thank you for another great episode. Ayan. Circe, lagi kang welcome na bumalik at magkwento sa amin. At alam mo yan, kung meron kang gustong ikwento, ay alam mo na kung paano ako ma-reach. Episode 278, Philippine Camper Stories and Paranormal Podcast collaboration. Ayan, kay Direct Nick. Maraming salamat, Direct Nick. At namimiss na kita. Sana naman namimiss mo rin ako. Kung hindi, bakit? Ano pa ang dahilan? Joke. Ayun, sabi dito ni Celine Ariel 12, ayos. Ayan. Matipid mag-comment si Celine Ariel. D. May Sabit. Okay. Sa wakas, keep safe, Camp Master. And sabi ni Abel, this is my multiverse. Wow. Bigat nun. Abel, maraming salamat. Blink Me Kev, sabi niya, parehong paborito kong podcast. Ayan. Thank you so much. Blink Me Kevs. Avi, at last, as someone na hindi nakaabot sa live, more of these, please. More power to the both of you. Sending love. Yan. Maraming salamat sa inyo. Basa pa tayo. May time pa naman eh. Episode 279, yung Philippine Camper Stories Paranormal Podcast Part 2. Sabi ni Iyana_07. CM and Sir Nick, can you also look into this podcast? Tumatayo ang balahibo ko sa mga shares nila. Ayan, kudos to the both of you. Maraming salamat sa pag-share nung ano na yan. Yung shinare niya sa ating link is yung Nandito Sila by Anima Podcast. Nakakatakot nga din yun talaga. Kaso lang short-lived, hindi na nasundan. I think hindi naging ewan ko, hindi ko alam kung ano nangyari. Basta yun, na hindi na nasundan, sayang lang, no? Thank you, Iana. S for Shan, kayo na lang po, Sir Earl, ang bagong charm wands ni Derek. Ang ganda naman ng mga topic na ito. Ayan. Oo nga, no, charm wands kami ni Derek. Hindi, may charm wands na yun. Okay lang yan. Tita Maggie, dream ko po sana magka-round table kayo. CM Earl, Derek Nick, G-Boys, Kapitanas with your Suki guests like Rally, Sam, JP, Apocalypse. Wow, that's actually an amazing. Yun ang multiverse talaga na parang lahat ng mga pinapakinggan nating podcast, no. Marami pa namang ibang podcast. Sana makasama natin sila in the future. Randy Clarinal, 11:53 reference ang QTV show ang pinaka. Yan. And Mancy says, Stories After Dark, yung very first podcast na pinakinggan ko. Very sad na bigla na lang siyang nawala hanggang sa na-discover ko na kayo. Thank you sa lahat ng efforts, CM and Sir Nick. Maraming salamat, Mancy. Yes, nandito pa rin naman tayo. Awa ng Diyos. Yun. Sana hindi naman tayo mawala agad. Katulad ng Stories After Dark. Sana makabalik din siya kung gusto niya. But, to each is his own. Ayun. And kung gusto niyo rin mag-iwan ng inyong mga comments, all you gotta do is join us at the Spotify comment section. Just go to Spotify app and click on the latest episode. And there you can leave your comment. And we will read it sa mga future episodes. Dito na po nagtatapos ang ating kwento for our campers na feeling mo ay good job ang podcast sa pagsama ninyo sa inyo sa mga araw-araw na gawain at naibsan ang pagkainip ninyo. You can send love and appreciation. Send lang kayo ng tips. Meron tayong GCash, meron tayong PayPal sa ating mga episode show notes. You can also check out Patreon page para makita niyo yung mga video podcast ng mga previous episodes. Just click on patreon.com/campfirestoriesph. You can also support the show by joining YouTube and TikTok para dun sa mga ibang video podcast ng Philippine Camper Stories. You can also stay for the ads at the end of the show kasi those ads, they keep our show running here for free. At panghuli, kung may kwento ka na gusto mong ibahagi sa ating camp, pwede mong isend yan sa camperstoriesph@gmail.com. Babasahin natin yan sa mga susunod na Santelmo Society episodes. Muli, maraming salamat sa inyong pakikinig. Magkita tayong muli sa susunod na kwento. Ako si Earl. At ito, ang Santelmo Society segment ng Philippine Camper Stories.